it back. I have to be careful here because it's kind of a concavity. So I just want to do sort of beveling flakes around here to turn the edge up there so I can do something that direction. I'll probably do it with a smaller bopper. I can try and do the same thing I did here, and I guess I will. I'll do that here. I'd raise my edge without doing what the other thing I said. You know, sometimes you see these deltas and they look all good. Think twice about hitting them though, because they usually terminate in a little concavity, and they're usually, a lot of times they're fairly low. If you haven't really raised that whole edge since you took that set, they're fairly low. So it's almost all the way down here, and it's a little concavity right here. So if I don't hit, and they're kind of narrow and dished out. If I try and hit up here, it will be okay if I hit there. But if I accidentally hit, you know, left or right of there, it's kind of an issue. So we'll see. See? See, if I tell you it's raining, take an umbrella. I'm trying to get that sturdy enough to come this way. All right. That's kind of chewed up, and this is sketchy, so it may or may not work, but oh well. Split the flake, probably because of roughness on my bopper, but that did more or less what I wanted. That's the sad thing about this kind of work. It's like that broken blade that I showed you. You know, I hit that rock hard like hundreds of times, I don't know. And you get lulled into a false sense of security. But you have to hit the rock hard. Like this. I mean, you have to hit it. At some point, you know, you can pick and choose which flakes you hit hard, but at some point, you're trying to reduce this thing. I mean, come on, you got to hit this sucker. You got to hit it like you caught it stealing your Challenger Hellcat. Oh, that was risky, but it was good. I kind of zigzag the ends a little bit sometimes. Knife edges off. I kind of zigzag the ends a little bit to try and stay at the center line with, and not really lose much. Like, and then I'll come in and attack from the sides to thin it out. Of course, on something like this, I gotta attack it from the ends too, because of the narrowness. Well, you really figure out how much of a 98-pound weakling you are when you're trying to throw these things around on your leg. I got a little split flake right there, and I need to hit on top that edge, but I want it to go. Holding way out here to support it. I'm trying to tilt this and have it down kind of like this. And I tried to hit that at what I knew was almost exactly the correct angle anyway. Because I talk all the time about redirecting stuff and using support to redirect stuff, but if you're trying to get the max run of a flake, you're better off using both the support a little bit, but not using support much, and trying, see that started blowing up too big a bulb and getting into my point. I'm losing length, I'm losing length. It's probably gonna end up being 19 and 98 inches or something. I'm kidding. Don't care. Have you ever heard of, dang it, what's it called? Orcut syndrome? It's a, it's kind of like the length equivalent of, well, it's a combination of length and width obsessiveness where you got to make progressively gianter stuff. Everything becomes a dance blade. I know people that are like that, which that's okay. I mean, you know, it's whatever you want to do. I was being more careful with that than it looked. That's about the furthest I've ever hit from my hand. No, maybe not. Hear it ringing? All right. See, I would feel better if I hit that with my smaller big billet, but if I want to clean that up, I really kind of need to hit it with a bigger big billet bopper to try and get the run instead of getting the precision. But I mean, you know, if I had just started napping yesterday, I would have thought that was cool looking. Of course, that probably is like 1/1000th of my audience or something. So yeah, I know, you do it all the time. And I know who you are too. The real question is, if you do it all the time, what are you doing watching me? I hope y'all don't psychoanalyze this stuff too much. See, I'm talking too much crap, and that's why I did that. I knew better. But it's in the wide part, so it doesn't hurt anything. Because we're making a drill. I've always wanted to make a 19 and 98/100th drill, Gary drill, freeze crack Gary drill on international video. All right, so we got this all weird. The balance is there though. Okay, look. See, there is still a straight point in there somewhere, kind of. But you do have to be careful to make sure you don't knock that straight point out of there. All right, here we go again. This chalk here is a problem because I could hit up there and cut that off, which I would like to do. I could hit there and do something in there, which I'd like to do. But both of those strikes are made uncertain as to their effect because of this chalk. And because of that, I think I'll get the chalk off here. I'll come this way. I'd like to do it the other way, but I'm gonna go this way first. But this is humpy, 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 so fairly decent pressure on my leg. But not so much as to make it not run, because I need it to, I'm probably gonna have it come right like through here. Trying to support, you know, all along. Got this touching my arm back here. Trying to do some good, you know. Because I'm back, you know, got to get rid of this square edge without losing. The normal amount of width to lose that square edge is pretty much. And so, trying not to need that much or use that much. I'm just going to try and knock here and knock a blender about to there. Nibble, nibble, nibble. But it's better than, I mean, sometimes you can work nibbles out of the problem later, but that's all nibbled up. Tedious and slow. Yes, I know. That's how I go. Okay, you can say, that looks like 40 miles of bad road, Martha. I'll be like, you think so? You think that looks like 40 miles of bad road? You think this isn't a great biface? Well, the cortex is mostly gone, right? Yeah. And I haven't broke it yet, right? Yeah. Okay. And I haven't lost a bunch of width anywhere along it, right? Yeah. All right. So now that we agree on everything, I'm fixing to make it prettier. You ready? See how much I use my leg on that one to really get rid of a bunch of that. Okay, what do you think that flake did? Well, what I was trying to do is to make it run all the way down under my fingers that are back right about there. because I'm trying to get these contours where I'm doing a little good, but I'm not losing the ability to get set up to do more good without having to lose a bunch of width doing it. You can't just keep going back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth with turning these edges on something like this. The rock, I knew when I picked the rock up to work that it was not an option. You must try and be creative. And you must be bold when boldness is feasible, when you think you can get away with it. But if you're so bold as to swing for the fences and try and make the finished blade possible while it's still this wide, it's going to come back to bite you when you start trying to deal with that situation you've created for yourself. This is a problem. I can't hit on that. So I've got to try and work this from this end. But if you'll notice, like, what are you doing? Well, this issue's in the middle, right? Yeah, well, I still got megatons of weight on the ends. And I can do a little here. I'm going to do a little more, but then I'm going to... Crap. I really hate having big diamonds like this kind of stuff in the middle, because that's the last place you want that, because you can't, once you do thin the ends, if you got a big diamond still in the middle and you're having to get aggressive at the steeper angles to work it off, hitting at steeper angles in the middle is way risky. So you'd like to never do that at all. One of the reasons a lot of knappers break so much stuff is because they're constantly working at steeper angles than I do. That, you know, if you're hitting flat, that's pretty safe in most situations. But when you're working at the steeper angles, before you get rid of thickness, thickness is the enemy when you're trying to deal with it. That's why I don't like using a lot of... You saw how hard I hit that. See, that's the reason I'm using the bigger bopper sometimes, because I just don't do enough. I mean, it helped. But anyway. All right. Right back.